president of your St. Louis Cardinals, Billy DeWitt III. How you doing, bud?
Hey, good. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing all right, man. We're doing all right. Pretty excited about the weekend. Now, I know you're busy, but do you get to, when opening day's here, do you get to kick your feet up and put your sunglasses on and enjoy the game, or are you running around just doing things?
Kind of half and half. I would say opening day is a little stressful because you're sort of observing all the operational issues, all the pregame ceremony. I think once the ceremony's over, I can kick back a little bit, other than got to visit a few suites and press a few palms. But, it's kind of game number 2 is almost even better for me.
Yeah, I love opening day. No one does it like the Cardinals. Yep. And Billy, I said this on Twitter because it's true. The world has been through so much. This country has been through so much. Baseball with the lockout has been through a lot. I'm going to soak it in this year. I mean, this opening day. It's going to be a little cold, but so what? Cold. But I mean, this opening day is going to feel like a slice of normalcy that we all really need, and I'm going to soak it in. Just your thoughts on everything that the country, that the world has been through, and baseball, and here we are, Cardinals opening day coming up. It's going to be a breath of fresh air. Yeah,
really. I mean, to think that a lot of people haven't been to one in 2 years, 2+ years, and for obvious reasons. Last year was sort of, restricted, but, it's just, and then the lockout was just like insult to injury. We're like, really, we're through this stuff, and now this. So to be on the other side of that, I just think I'm going to appreciate this season even more. I hope I hope that feeling lasts more than just a few games, right? Then you get into the stress of the season. But I do think I will certainly appreciate just the experience of being at the game and the rhythm of the season more than I think I have in the past.
And Bill, what is the business impact when you have a move in bringing back Albert Pujols? Everybody knows it makes so much sense. First of all, he can still hit lefties, but also just kind of the storybook ending. But when that move is made, all of a sudden, are the phones ringing? And in terms of tickets, you guys always are one of the best in the league in terms of people coming to Busch Stadium anyway. But does that even add to it? And how do you quantify that?
Yeah, I mean, like those first couple of days after the announcement, we sold a lot more tickets than we would have probably sold, looking at previous years in those sort of the days of the sales cycle. But I don't think that it's necessarily just a business move. It's sort of, first and foremost, every move has to be a baseball move, right? And you talked about that and how Albert's going to be used most likely, obviously against lefties, DH, et cetera. Maybe some spot starts at first, but to give Goldie a break. But I think on the other side of this, there's definitely a feeling, I think, that this makes sense for the Cardinals and for our fans, and certainly a little business plus to it, but not the driving decision on that. We're hoping that we can get back to kind of it'd be great to get to 3 million. It'll be tough, but I think it's possible this year, which really is kind of our litmus test for, quote, normal in St. Louis.
Ollie Marmol said the other day that though there's a right-hander slated to start for the Pirates, Albert will be DH. He'll be in the starting lineup, which I think is a no-brainer. I mean, if anyone's ever watched Albert, you might know he's got a flair for the dramatic. Had a couple of hits against right-handers spring training yesterday. But it was a bit of a debate. I tweeted out that, once I saw that it hadn't been announced, but Pirates probably going with a right-hander, I was like, boy, I'd really like to see Albert in the starting lineup. And then there was like, every game is just your thoughts on Albert getting the start on opening day, which in my book is a no-brainer, righty or lefty. The matchups can wait.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what everyone was thinking in the baseball side of things. It doesn't have to come down to just ruthless numerical calculations. Over the long haul, yes, those are very important, and how you construct your lineup and this and that, but opening day, Albert's back, and he's in the lineup. We all agree with that one.
So, Bill, each and every year, there's always kind of some new bells and whistles. Any types of promotions or new things around the ballpark that you guys are excited to show everybody this year?
Yeah, I would say, well, probably the thing they'll notice the most, and this is coming soon, is Freeze's Landing, which we've kind of rebranded the old Homer's Landing out there in center field to, and David's, in his retirement is going to be more active and around a little bit more, so his appearances there will be great. I think, I think fans will notice Ballpark Village has got some upgrades and new tenants, and for those who hadn't been here much, particularly the last couple of years, I think will be blown away by all the activity there. New playing field, so grass looks incredible. It'll be a great look there. New strains, that have the resistance to heat and pesticides, all that kind of stuff. It's Billy's excited about it. We've got a couple concerts this year, so he's always looking for an edge to keep this the best playing surface in MLB. And then just your basic changes in look and feel when you have different ads and things, but then also like the outfield wall in the left field area where we pay tribute to our Hall of Famers, new look there to incorporate Ted Simmons and his name and number that's been retired. So it's just one of those things where you got to come and see it, and you'll notice things big and small that are a little different, but same old Cardinal baseball.
Billy, a lot of reasons to be excited about the season ahead, because I think you guys are going to be really, really good. But there's always injuries, and right now you got Flaherty, you got Reyes heading into the season, won't be available. So it always goes down to starting pitching. Do we have enough starting pitching depth? Now, obviously, you guys need another starter. Just your thoughts on where you guys are in terms of how you fill that gap.
Yeah, I mean, there are some big arms in our system. There are even some names people maybe haven't heard of yet, but are starting to percolate in the minor league camps and stuff. I think you'll see some debuts in the pitching side this year that will be very interesting. Some high ceiling guys that are there. I think it's something that I'm really excited to have Ollie on board because he gets the whole pitching equation issue. We might see things play out a little bit differently in terms of how he manages the staff. Not that we would have an opener, quote unquote, like the Rays and some other clubs have experimented with a lot. But I think you'll see a little bit of experimentation with some of that when you're getting to that fifth spot. And maybe there's a few guys that are debuting early in April, May. Maybe we, instead of just saying, all right, you're going 7, maybe we say you're going 3 or 4 and see how it goes kind of thing. So I'm interested in seeing how that experimentation plays out and what arms emerge from the system.
I know one of the things talked about is Hicks being involved in that. Is that kind of what you're talking about right now? Yeah,
he's definitely one of those names that figures to be part of that equation for maybe a fifth starter, or like you could envision a group of 2 or 3 or 4 guys that all are being told you've got a shot at this, and as we're playing this out, you're going to get your chances and see who emerges and actually builds up that arm strength. Because with the shortened spring training, we're going to see pitching changes quite a bit in April. It's just the reality of where we are. Even the big arms like Waino, who's he's been around the world 10 times with that arm, but you're not going to want to see him go 8-9 on opening day, right? Look, anything's possible, but I think because of the shortened spring, that's going to be the case even with set starter spots. So the more arms down there, the better, and that's why I think you'll see some names that people aren't even familiar with yet working their way in, and that depth has been a real asset for us over the years, and I hope it will continue here this year as well.
Bill, curious your thoughts on also baseball coming back from the lockout. I know fans were down for a while, and it dragged on. I'm sure that reflected, and you could tell us, in whether it's ticket prices and merchandise and all that. But I feel like the second the lockout ended, even the next day when the Cardinals make the first move and it's Drew Verhagen, I just saw so much excitement, and I feel like that reflected in, if you're producing baseball content where maybe for a few months people aren't viewing it, and then all of a sudden everybody's super excited about baseball again. Do you think that'll be an issue? It sure feels like in St. Louis that the fans are obviously right back and really into it.
Yeah, I think there's a few things going on there. Number one, our fans had a great second half in terms of seeing that great winning streak. We made it to the playoffs. We narrowly lost to the Dodgers in that tight one-gamer. Had a chance to maybe do damage in October. But, and then the lockout it's just very frustrating, and nobody wants to see the sausage getting made. But once it ended, I think people started to think, well, this is a team that competed last year, and the younger kids are figure to be better and improved. Is a real chance to do damage, and I think for St. Louis fans, they know when they see quality, and they're excited about this season. And kind of to your other point about just being ready to move on a number of levels, I think there was pent-up demand to say, let's put this behind us, whether it's the pandemic or the lockout or whatever, and move on. And we all just are looking forward to the weather turning and everything that comes with opening day beyond just baseball. I feel it personally. I feel it, just with a buzz around the office. And it's good to hear that, you're feeling it and others are feeling it too, because it's somewhere we haven't been in several years.
Yeah, you look at a guy like Tyler O'Neill. I mean, really coming into his own, Billy. I mean, yeah, just people. You put on MLB Network and people are talking about how he's one of the most underrated guys in the outfield. I mean, look at his progression, and he's in a good spot right now. I know everybody's pretty excited about watching him play, and not to mention he's a good old Canadian boy too, eh?
Exactly. Yeah. I've never asked him if he was a hockey player. Have you?
He looks like he's got the hockey hair. He's built like it. He probably could do anything. He's an athlete. Whatever you want him to do, I'm sure he could have done it when he was a kid.
Yeah, definitely. But, yeah, I mean, young players in the defense, I think St. Louisans appreciate a great, crisp defense. They have 5 Gold Glovers out there. I mean, that's, and with speed, I mean, these guys, if they can get on base, I mean, this could be really an exciting team to watch on both sides of the ball. So I'm excited. I think that mix of young players that are coming into their prime and veterans who we all feel still have something left is a great formula.
A lot of eyes on Paul DeYoung, the shortstop. Obviously, a great free agent class for shortstops. I know you guys believe that Paul will bounce back after a down year last year. Had a really, really good spring. I know you guys believe in him. What do you guys like about Paul DeYoung, and what are you expecting from him this year?
Yeah, what I've enjoyed seeing is an openness to changing his approach, both whether it's a physical change or swing change, or whether it's a mental approach change. Just hearing from Ollie and talking to him, he's really excited about how Paul's approaching the year. And, that's something that as a coach and as, somebody in the front office, although I'm not day-to-day on the baseball side, I think that it's gives you optimism. He's a smart guy. I mean, Paul's, a unique player in that regard with a, academic background as well as a great history in terms of his career early on. So I have no doubt he'll figure this out, and he looks great this spring, and no reason to think he shouldn't be a top-flight shortstop for us this year.
So, Bill, we're obviously all really excited for opening day, but I know you're also excited anytime you get to play on the same line in hockey as Cam Jansen. So we got to know, what's he like in the league? Is he a puck hog? Is he feeding you one-timers because he wants free tickets? What's he like out there?
He knows what's up.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you haven't been out there much.
I got a radio show. I got a radio show to Billy.
Wow.
I got bills to pay. It's 7 to 10 every single morning.
You know, I was out there yesterday morning and no chance. So, I mean, I guess you got your job, but you know, so do I. But I'm out there. I don't know. No, he's fun. He's generous. Obviously, he could skate circles around us, but he's for the guys that are like I skate with a quote Blues alumni. Well, only about like 5 of the guys are actual alumni. The rest of us are just fill-ins, and we have fun. And it's the nice thing about it is, you know, there's not a lot of monkey business checking. Everybody knows how to play and kind of the respect, but once in a while there's a little bit of extra oomph and maybe a little stick work, and Chance is usually right there when it gets to that point.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, you don't have to throw him under the bus here, but he's a bully. I mean, with us. I mean, he's constantly threatening us. I would imagine that he's that way on the ice too. I personally I can't take it anymore.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Bill, you know how it is. No, but look, everybody's 6'4" when I'm on the line with you, but my hands aren't just where they used to be, which was nowhere anyway. But appreciate you coming on, Billy. I know you got a long, probably I'm sure a long day. We're gonna be seeing you this weekend. Everybody's pumped up in St. Louis, and you guys are doing a hell of a job. We're all excited.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Billy.
You
All right,
too.
Billy.
Thanks, Bill.
See you, buddy. That was Billy DeWitt III.
Nice guy. Nice
Great
guy. Thanks for coming on.
He's a great guy, and man, he's on a. You just go downtown, man. I mean, they got a nice setup down there in every way possible. And I know some of the fans, you know, they complain because they've had it so good, and they have. Our fans here, we're all spoiled watching these two teams. Like really, they bring it every single year. You have a chance to win every single year. You got an unbelievable facility down there. You got Busch Stadium is gorgeous. Ballpark Village, everything that you see down there, man. And it's just, you know, you got to give the tip of the cap to these guys. So thanks, Billy, for coming on.
Unlike anywhere else, opening day in St. Louis. I mean, it's not like opening days elsewhere. Everyone has their traditions. Yep. This is better. And the thing about the DeWitts, okay? I mean, Billy's a fan. He's not just a guy that's, you know, counting the money and Bill DeWitt Jr., he could tell you something about pretty much any player at any level. I mean, they're hands-on guys, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, they are. And we're all excited about going down to the ballpark.